The rain had been falling for hours, cold and relentless, soaking the cardboard mat that served as Lizzie's bed. She pulled the oversized hoodie tighter around her small frame, her back pressed against the red brick wall of a shut-down bakery. It was just past midnight. Her stomach growled again, but she'd learned to ignore it. At 14, Lizzie had no home, no parents, no guarantee of a next meal. But she had a book. Clutched tightly in her hand, despite the dampness, was a worn-out copy of a science textbook she'd rescued from a garbage pile near an abandoned school building. The cover was torn. The pages were wrinkled, but to Lizzie, it was a doorway to another life.
Yeah.
She hadn't always lived on the streets. There were fragments of a different time, her mother singing softly as she cooked, her little brother's laugh echoing through their tiny apartment. But that life had vanished like smoke. Her father had left when she was 8. Her mother, a once vibrant woman with dreams of becoming a nurse, began to crumble under the weight of unpaid bills and lost hope. Substance abuse took over. By the time Lizzie was 13, her mother was gone, lost to an overdose. Foster care was a brief, painful blur. 3 homes in 6 months, each colder than the last. She ran. She found it less painful to be alone on the streets than to be in houses where she was treated like a burden. Still, Lizzie didn't give up. During the day, she'd sneak into the public library and read. It was warm there and quiet. No one questioned her as long as she kept to herself. She devoured books, science, literature, history. She'd sit in a corner, scribbling notes in a stolen notebook with a broken pencil she kept sharpening on the sidewalk. Sometimes, the librarians would offer her apples or granola bars. She'd smile shyly, always whispering, "Thank you," but never asking for more. At night, she studied by streetlights or the faint glow from shop signs. Her determination wasn't born from ambition. It was survival. She believed knowledge could be her way out. If I learn enough, she often told herself, maybe I can build a new life, a better one. One day, as she sat reading in the library, an elderly woman named Mrs. N. Green sat beside her. She was a retired teacher visiting the library for a book club. "You're here every day?" Mrs. Green said gently. Lizzie tensed. She was always careful not to draw attention. "I'm not here to get you in trouble," the woman added quickly. "I'm just curious." "What are you studying?" Lizzie hesitated before answering. "Physics." "I like figuring out how things work." Mrs. Green smiled. "Do you go to school?" Lizzie's eyes dropped to the floor. Mrs. Green didn't press, but she returned the next day with sandwiches and a backpack filled with clean clothes and notebooks and something else. Hope. With Mrs. Green's help, Lizzie got enrolled in an alternative high school. She was behind, but not for long. Her teachers were stunned by how quickly she caught up and surpassed the others. She didn't just do assignments. She questioned theories, wrote essays with insight, solved equations that baffled her peers. She worked part-time cleaning houses and washing dishes in the evenings. Every dollar went to food, books, and saving for a future she could barely imagine. One of her teachers, Mr. Adams, noticed her talent and drive. He encouraged her to apply for a summer science camp. "You'll be with students from all over," he said. "The best of the best?" Lizzie laughed. "Those kinds of programs are for rich kids. I don't even have a real home address." "Let me worry about that," he said. She got in. At the camp, Lizzie met students who lived in big houses, had private tutors, and traveled the world. She slept on a camp cot in a shared cabin and had brought only 2 sets of clothes. She felt out of place until the first group project. Her team was building a solar-powered water purifier. As they debated approaches, Lizzie quietly started sketching a design based on an idea she'd once read about in a survival guide. When she explained it, the entire group fell silent. "Where did you learn that?" someone asked. "I read," she said simply. Their project won first place. One of the judges, a Harvard alum and engineering professor, noticed Lizzie. He asked about her background. She was hesitant at first, ashamed, afraid. But then she told him the truth. "I don't want pity," she said. "I want a chance." The professor looked her in the eye. That's all anyone ever really needs. When senior year came, Lizzie applied to college. Her dream choice, Harvard. Her guidance counselor shook her head. "I admire your courage, Lizzie, but maybe apply somewhere safer, too." Lizzie smiled. "What's the worst that could happen? They say no?" She poured her soul into her application essay. She didn't sugarcoat her past. She wrote about sleeping in abandoned buildings, about studying under street lamps, about the people who had helped her, about the hunger, literal and figurative, that had shaped her. Weeks passed, then months. One afternoon, Lizzie checked the mail at the shelter where she now stayed part-time. A thick envelope was waiting. She held her breath as she opened it. "Dear Elizabeth, we are pleased to inform you." Ooh. She didn't read the rest. She just sank to her knees and wept. Harvard had said yes. Her first year was overwhelming. Everything was new. The campus, the culture, the pace. She battled imposter syndrome daily, wondering if she truly belonged. But then she remembered she had earned this. No one had handed it to her. She studied harder than ever. She made friends. She joined the science club, worked in labs, got internships. Professors took notice, not just of her brilliance, but of her humility and grit. One evening after a student panel, someone in the audience asked her what had made her keep going. She paused. "I had nothing," she said. "No home. No parents. No safety net. But I had a choice. I could let my circumstances define me, or I could define my future. I chose the latter. I chose to believe that where you start doesn't determine where you end up." The room went quiet. Then applause erupted. Lizzie graduated with honors and was accepted into a prestigious graduate program. Her dream, to design sustainable energy solutions for communities living in poverty. She wanted to build more than a career. She wanted to give back, to lift others the way a few kind souls had lifted her. She never forgot the cold nights or the hunger. She never forgot the people who helped her, not with grand gestures, but with simple human kindness, a librarian's silent offer of an apple, a retired teacher's concern, a science camp that saw her potential. Today, Lizzie is not just a scientist. She is a symbol of hope, a symbol of the power of perseverance, a symbol that no matter how hard life hits, you can rise. Because sometimes the person with nothing becomes the one who changes everything.